Okay, this is destruction working. Well, it's the preparation for it anyway. So if you're going to do something like this, please think it through. Give it a lot of thought first before you commit to it. Uh, Also, when you're finished the working, please cleanse yourself. Uh, if it's Florida water, use it. If it's, let me see, just plain old salt in the bath or the shower, use that. A candle, not a candle. Yeah, what you could use white candles. Uh, an egg limpia is what I was going to actually say there. I'm sure you've seen videos of people using an egg and then cracking it into the glass. There's sage. There's many things, many different things. Hyssop oil. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hyssop, whatever. Those are all things, and I would do it for quite a few days after you're finished the working. Just or even each night. If it's a 7-day working, cleanse each night. Get that off you, that negative energy. At the end of the day, a spell like this is manipulating someone's free will. It's also calling down the darkness, the negative forces. I'm not saying that the spirits that I work with are negative, but we're trying to create a negative situation, is what I'm trying to say. And therefore you are creating something that needs to be taken off you, if you know what I mean, to keep your aura clear and clean and stuff. So what you need is a little box. I've got a little black box with a mirrored inside bit. uh, I try not to catch my reflection. uh, a lot of folks basically say, it's bad if you get your reflection in it, but whatever. uh, So I've got the petition in there, and what I want to happen. I want his marriage to suffer, his finances to suffer, his sex life to suffer, every aspect of his life to suffer. And again, I've looked at cards to see if this is justified, and it is justified. At the end of the day, if you wrong someone in life, there is a consequence, and you know, it shows up in the cards whether or not this person is justified or not. So, or it's justified to do this kind of thing on a person. So, yeah. So I work with spirits of the Gracia, as you already know, and the Holy Death. So I would be calling on the black form of the Holy Death for something like this, or the likes of Belial. Belial is a really, really good spirit. Again, really good for legal work. Also for anything to do with bringing someone down that thinks they're sitting up on top. People that think that they're above the law. He is excellent for knocking down people like that. He works really, really, really effectively for that kind of thing. I should say, I'll read from S. Conley's book, just for anyone that wants to know. Belial is a king. His color is yellow. His incense is frankincense. Metal is gold. Planet is the sun. Element is fire. And then she puts earth in brackets. His N is Lerch Tasa Vifa Wel Belial. Original purpose: distributes titles and can make friends and enemies favor your position. He gives familiars. The magician must give offerings, sacrifices, and gifts if he wants Belial to be truthful. I find Belial is extremely truthful, and he's one of the spirits I totally, totally trust and truly respect. But that's just me. Anyway, author's notes. In the Ducanti hierarchy, Belial is seen as the representative demonic force of Earth. In this aspect, he is destructive. He is the destructive Earth force. This makes invoking this aspect apt for execrations and necromancy. Not to mention business endeavors that require aggressive measures. So yeah, that's why I'm saying things like court work. I've done a lot of court work. Uh, Police, keeping the police away, things like that. He's excellent for that. Really is excellent for that type of working. Uh, so yeah, just said again, basically Hebrew without worth. He's Lord of the Lake of Fire. I think I mention one of the crown princes of hell. He doesn't take well to people being blasphemous and stuff like that with regards to his name. And when I call him for working, I will. Should I say? There's a video on YouTube, and prior to working with him, I will play the video, and she sings the first satanic Enochian key. It's basically I think it's called the Invocation to Belial. I need to link that. If anyone is interested, I'll link it in the description box, and I've mentioned it before in other videos. But I will sing along to that, which might not be a good thing, but but I do that because I don't know. There's a strong vibe that he wants that, and I do that, and I play that, and I really do feel he really likes that. So I will sing along with that Enochian key, and I will draw up the sigil and make the request at that point. But like I said, you could use or call on many different spirits, whoever you work with. Like I said, I work with the Holy Death and I work with Belial. But you go with whoever you want. Whoever your deity is, call on your deity for help. You could even ask your ancestors to help you if you're having trouble with someone. Your ancestors are your best allies. They could come forward and give you some help. But at the end of the day, it's truly up to you. But that's just me. Okay, so I've made a puppet of said person, and I have it baptized. Doesn't look that great. It looks a bit knock-kneed, but that's being baptized. So to baptize that, I use blessed water, and I basically say you're now the vessel for John Doe. You contain the mind, the body, the soul of John Doe, and whatever I tell you to do, you will do, kind of thing. And what we're going to do is find some black yarn in this Aladdin's cave, and I'm going to bind him up. And like I said, I think I said, we're attacking his finances. We're going to attack his, basically, his general luck, his marriage, all that. That's what we want to do because he's wronged someone. And there's always a price to pay. With the correct people, there's a price to pay. So I'm binding his hands behind his back. I want to bind away from me, actually. You will do no harm to anyone else in this lifetime. I'm binding his legs and his feet, so he will cause no more harm. You could take it on up to the head and go around the mouth. You will speak no ill of anyone. You will. I'm going over where the eyes would be. You will not see any of my work. That's basically just a shroud thing. You're now bound. I'm just tying in a little knot. Make sure it stays that way. Okay. So what I'm going to do is pop him in the box like so. Okay, you might as well use a few pins at this stage. The groin area is always a good place to start. So you could say into yourself, you will feel pain in the groin every time you're intimate with any female, except I want to make sure the client is left out of this, and I'm saying except her name. You will feel pain except with the client. You will suffer headaches and stress for everything you've done. You will not sleep at night. You will not eat. You will not rest. You are unsettled. Okay. I'm going to put some black salt on him. Some alum powder. This is good to basically stop him, gossiping and talking, that sort of thing. But again, you need to go with what you have at hand. I've got some knotweed. That will stop him from progressing anywhere in life, getting places. That's what that's for. So we're basically, our intentions is to bring him down, and we're also attacking his personal relationship as well. Destruction powder. I really have to psych myself up for this stuff. It is vile. So we could also, let me see, some chili, cayenne pepper actually. That is to give him some issues in life. That will basically set a fire underneath him and cause things to start to become, things will not become plain sailing as they once were. Things will start to get shaky. That's how spell work starts off. It never is just a jump to the result. Rarely I see that. It starts off slowly, a seed is sown, and then it, culminates to the results. That can take a while. I mean, I'm forever telling people that it's all about patience. People that have patience will get what they want a lot sooner. One moment. Okay. So I put a bit of poppy seeds in there, actually. That's for confusion, discord. And I'm putting a little bit of asylum dirt, which was really hard to come by, but I was able to get some. And this is basically to send him nuts. It doesn't want to come out. It's strange. There we go. So, yeah. Good thing to have at hand. Graveyard dirt is always good because we want to have it. We don't want to. It's not about ending the person's life. That's not what we're doing. We're ending this person's luck. And that's what the graveyard dirt will do. It will seal that. So that's what I'm asking for the graveyard dirt to do, is to basically call death upon his luck and all the good things in his life. You can always leave a back door in this spell. Basically, you can say, if you change if you change and become a good person, the spell will be broken. You could try that. But at the end of the day, sometimes these spells will just run rampant until they, do what they want to do, and sometimes it can be difficult to knock a spell off. So be sure that you want to do this. I have to emphasize that. Be sure you want to do this. Let me see. I wanted to put a bit of that devil's dung in there. To make him repulsive, just to make him, not desirable in the slightest. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put rotten chili in here, and then I'm gonna bind it up. Let me see. I have a few more oils I could put in there. There's a little hate oil for everyone to really dislike him, hex him. It's a hex and hate oil. Basically, we don't want anyone to be warmed to him. Want people to dislike him. want to change his aura to a dark aura. So people will not be, they will just be put off every time they see him. We want that. And also, when he looks into the mirror part of the box, everything that he sends out will come back to him. Mirror boxes, in my opinion, mirror boxes work two ways. Uh, I mean, everyone else has their own opinion, but I think you can use a mirror box for protection. You can make a little puppet. Let's say you're getting, or you have a child that's bullied at school. You can make a little puppet of the child and put the child in the mirror box, and that will protect the child. If you write up a little petition basically saying that anyone that throws anything on the child will be reflected back. So, mirror boxes have been used that way as protection devices, and also mirror boxes can be used as a return to sender, as in full on, like almost like a coffin box. Um, but that's just my opinion, and that's how I've used them, and I've used them effectively for years. I make them myself. They're easy. They're easy to make. I should say that if you are wanting to make one, it's just obtain a little box and go into a shop. And if you see a little compact mirror, cheap, doesn't have to be expensive, buy it, bring it home. And what I do is I put a cloth over it. Actually, first of all, I should say I run it under a cold tap. But again, try not to get your reflection in that mirror. And I run it over it just to clean off the, people handling it in shops. And then what I do is I'll put a cloth over it and hit it with a hammer. And I will glue bits of that little, what you call it, mirror to the inside of the box. Sometimes the bottom as well, so that all the puppet can see is the cracked glass, and it's forced to take a look at itself, if you know what I mean. And everything, it's also that all the negativity comes back, kind of thing. So that's what I'm basically saying. So yeah, there's a lot you can torture this even more. I mean, I like to put hot wax on these puppets, especially. I mean, you don't have to. I should say this because uh, I'll be binding it now, but you don't actually have to bind it right away. You could keep the box like this, let's say on your altar, and you could get a pin, just a regular pin like that, and you could heat it over the flame of a black candle, and you could push it into the head and say that you will have nightmares. You're so unsettled, you have nightmares in the groin. You could do that. That's an option, and you could do that for a certain amount of nights. Actually, maybe I will do that. Maybe I won't bind it just yet. I'll keep it for a few days and I'll have fun with it, and we can see how things go. I mean, you have to understand that if you it's not like sticking a pin into the back of the doll is going to give that person an instant bad back, a sore back right away, if you know what I mean. It doesn't work like that. uh that person could be involved in an accident and get a bad back that way, but it won't be, oh, I feel a pain in my back. I don't believe in that. No, some people do. They think that once you stick the pin in, they feel it. But no, 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 no. I don't think it works like that. I think that it just takes a while for things to work out, and I think there's more to it than that, if you know what I mean. Like when I hit his groin, I mean, that is me hurting his manhood. And I mean, when he tries to be intimate with his partner, that's when he will have an issue. Do you know what I mean? And also, like I said, if you touch the head, that can bring on nightmares, I think, and things like that. So, the last video I put up with regards to like an impotence spell with a penis candle, someone in the comments said that this guy must have really deserved this, to get the full left hand thrown upon him, kind of thing. But the thing is, when you do wrong someone, there is a price to pay. At times there can be a price to pay, and if you mess with the wrong kind of people, this can happen. So, that's something to bear in mind. At the end of the day, that's something to bear in mind. I'm always really, really careful because you don't know who does what at the end of the day. So it's just something to bear in mind. Anyway, I've rambled on quite a bit, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this to the Santissima Murde's altar. I'm going to find I've got some chili that has rotted away, pieces of chili, and I'm going to pop that in the box. Where's my candle holder? I've got a little candle holder, and I'll be burning a black little chime in that. What was I saying there? Yes, I'm going to put in that and some sharded light bulb. I like to use broken light bulb because it takes the light away from the person's life, in my opinion. It's symbolic. So that's what I'm going to do. And I will actually leave that, and I'll leave it for 7 days. And I'll work on it, in between. And then I'll just pop that lid on it, bind it with black yarn. And I'll burn this little black candle beside it, of course. And what I'll do is deploy that at a... Looks like we're back at the cemetery again. Yeah, I'll probably have to take this to the cemetery because of the nature of it. I think that's where it'll go, or I could keep it on Holy Death's altar for a while, but because of it being a negative working, I like to get them out. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy to keep the love work on the altar if I feel it needs it, but this kind of thing out. But I don't really want it hanging around my home too long. So that's really it. So I have a ton of videos coming. Please, please, please. If you're waiting on a video, please, please, please hang in there with me. I had a bit of a flu and it knocked me for 6, and I'm a little behind, but I will get to you. I have, I really don't know if I should say this. I have basically started using WhatsApp and uh, the whole system. I don't know what these modern day phones. I'm showing my age. It just crashed on me, and I don't take actual phone calls, if that makes sense. But I'm available to text on WhatsApp, so I do that. But at the end of the day, I'm sort of getting to grips with it, and I don't give it the number out to everyone, but some people are very stressed out kind of people, and I will give the number to them. But at the minute, I'm having an issue with it. It's to do with my phone upgrade. So if you are waiting for me to contact you on WhatsApp, I will be in touch over the next day or so. Please, please, please hang in there. And yeah, with regards to WhatsApp, people always ask me about WhatsApp, and I'm happy to give you the number. But I rarely get a chance to pick up the phone because I'm in Ireland. There are 7, 8, maybe 9 hours, difference. And usually when you're up trying to phone me, I'm sleeping, or vice versa. So that's why I never really get a chance to take the phone calls. But it's something I will be looking into because I'll be having a lot more time on my hands very soon with regards to retirement. So there we go. I have nearly rattled on for half an hour. This job needs finishing, and I will speak to you all again soon. Like, share, subscribe if you so want to, and I'll speak to you soon.